draft. I don't even. I mean, we do know what it was decided by. It was one flip, just a singular coin flip at the end of the game. Although I want to give
my challengers.
I want to absolutely. I want to give a little bit of credit for DK. I do think that Kingen in particular did a really good job of maintaining sideline pressure, which is why BDD wasn't in that fight. Because if he leaves and joins the rest of his team, then there's a double TP opportunity. So a lot of work was done before that, but it was definitely a game that could have gone many a way, depending on the outcome of that fight. Senna still going to get taken away, unsurprisingly. Obviously, DK shouldn't be expected to change anything up here early on in the draft, as the Azir still not gonna be given over. And Varus, particularly as a B1, has been struggling. We'll see if that is what gets picked up early on here as well. Don't think it's a problem with the pick, but it is a pick that you can actually try and play against with the type of composition that you pick, particularly when there's no Kench, but something like a Nautilus.
Will they change their final ban? It was Kalista last time. So far, all the bans are the same. It'll be Kalista again. First pick, Varus on the cards for deaths. There it is. Do you take away the Nautilus this time, or are you just happy with Karma and Lucian?
Yeah, just run it back, right? No reason not to.
Aiming does have a sly
That's a Zeri grin, Valdez.
Oh no.
I've seen that one before.
He's like, trust me, Kog'Maw is good. No. Teemo is the way. Okay, Karma is going to be the lock-in first. So they have some extra time. They're utilizing that Karma pick that they were always going to take. That extra time to go for it. And the Smolder is going to be the choice this time.
The more I see of Smolder, the more he truly feels to me like Xayah does, which is in the right position. This pick is absolutely broken. But he has really struggled with actually getting in range enough to do reliable damage. And that is something that I am a bit worried about, particularly with the lockdown that's going to be provided here. I would love an early lock-in of Vi here. I think Vi Nautilus makes the life of Smolder so insanely hard. And it means that it's going to be a lot harder for aiming to have a big impact. Instead, Taliyah blind to come through from BDD here will give him more of an impact towards the bottom half of the map. His Orianna was fine. Didn't really blow us away one way or another. Or a blind, I guess it is probably into the Karma from Showmaker again.
Yeah. Also, Tom Kench thinking about taking this one. I was going to say they could always flex that Smolder to the top lane, as Kingen is one of the players who has played it up there. But with Smolder, Tom Kench selected, wouldn't be surprised to just have that be the bottom lane duo. So they skip the Lee Sin pick, they take the Taliyah instead. And so you would imagine that Vi has to be off the cards. Because if you get Taliyah and Vi and Nautilus and Varus, that's CC for days. And it's not very fair, especially for the little baby dragon.
Can also ban the Viego, maybe Sejuani as well, and then just pick up the Vi on R4. We know how much it is beloved by Lucid. And additionally, it keeps the Smolder as a flex pick alive. I do agree with you. I think it's 9 times out of 10 it's going to be towards the bot lane here, with Kench in particular, but could go for some other pairing with the Kench. Yeah, try and go for a hyper carry one way or another. Aphelios is another one that we have actually seen, which obviously is not going to be a great matchup, but it is something that they can look towards. So I would love a Vi pickup here. Although Kench does help a lot with the Vi, so if they do go for the Vi, there's a lot of added safety. But I think that the combination of Taliyah Vi also is so tough to play into. It's Lucid, a grin on his face. That's the lock-in Sejuani. Gets to. It's an honor to be a tank for you.
Yeah. And that does leave the Vi available, but it is a great point you do raise. Do they want to, utilize more and more and more CC that could just be put into one target that then just gets devoured, and then a lot of your kit as a team is kind of just gone? Or do they want to look elsewhere? 2 carry junglers were taken away from Pyoshik. There's not that many left. I mean, Xin Zhao has been one that he's gone to often. He has
Trundle?
No, that's not a champion. Jarvan is almost less of a champion.
If I remember correctly, you can't actually smolder E out of man-made terrain. Like, terrain made by champions. I have to double-check that, but that would actually mean that Jarvan, I don't think, is as bad as it might initially look, and also lock down the Karma and the Kench. But it looks like it's going to be the Poppy instead. Poppy does obviously have pretty nice synergy with Taliyah. You can smash people over the rocks. Makes their life fairly unpleasant. Good follow-up as well, with Nautilus already being a main initiator, and the amount of CC available for KT, absolutely incredible. Kingen, he got pummeled in lane last time around. I expect it will be the same, and I expect he will care as little as he did in that game.
Yeah, eventually you just play the side lanes well, you play the macro well, and do become a late game powerhouse. It's what he is very good at least nowadays on the Aatrox. But yeah, that Gnar being held face up, and then the Aatrox picked into it. It's not going to be too easy. A lot of control on the side of KT Rolster's composition, a lot of crowd control, and just ways to zone people away or just CC them for 8 seconds straight, even without the Vi. But certainly a lot of ways to keep your opponents at distance between the Karma and the Kench on the side of D plus Kia.
We'll see if KT can bring us to a game number 3, Valdez. The compositions, I don't think were the problem last time around. I wouldn't think it's going to be a problem this time around either. A lot of power here for KT. The one thing I'm worried about is Taliyah in the early game is really going to get punished by Karma. And we have seen, Faker most notably, but even some of the Chovy games, that Taliyah is really, really shining as a pick when she gets to influence the side lanes. That will be hard against the amount of prio that is going to come out from Showmaker, but really good 5v5, really good brawling composition here from KT. It was almost enough in game 1. See if they can bring us to game number 3.
I really hope so. After the way that game 1 went, this would be